Information security threats. In this video, we are going to talk about some of the important and common information security risks and threats that can impact data privacy for the users as well. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you have been watching my videos on data privacy, and this video is going to talk about information security threats. What is data privacy? Data privacy is my right to choose what personal information I want to share, with whom do I want to share it with, what is the purpose of sharing this information, and can this information be shared further? For example, if someone has a task related to me, maybe bank account opening, and they ask me for my personal information. Now, ideally, the banker himself should ask the minimum possible information, which we call data minimization in data privacy. But even otherwise, it's my right to choose that if he's asking for some information, what all information can I share with him? And if he says that to open my account, he's going to share this information with a third party, then again, it's for me to decide whether I want to allow that to happen or not. This process of seeking permission for collecting, processing, and sharing my personal information is also called consent management in the data privacy world. Data privacy provides me those rules and laws that can help me protect my personal interest in case I see my information being misused or wrongly shared with anyone in the environment. Right? So these are the basics of data privacy, and of course information security plays a major role along with it, wherein the basic role of information security is to make sure that data is intact and follows the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The data should remain confidential. It should not be allowed to be accessed by unauthorized users, perhaps kept encrypted and anonymized so that even if accessed or hacked or a part of it is stolen, then it cannot be opened. Its integrity has to be well maintained. Checksums regularly run around it to make sure that the data blocks are not corrupted. And availability, like ensuring disk protection through RAID and keeping a backup copies of data to make sure that if the primary data is lost, then the data can be brought back from the backups. So my personal information that you gathered for me is 100% available with you, secure, not being shared wrongly anywhere, not being misused anywhere. That is the basic premise of information security. It also includes RBAC, the role-based access control, which is unauthorized access is not allowed, and only authorized usage of information is allowed. When you create a user in your organization, the user you need to provide rights to the user. So you decide what kind of rights, whether he can only view, whether he can use, process, whether he can share with anyone else. And of course, the most important, the right to erasure. Can he erase your data, delete your data permanently from the systems? Right? So these are the base premises of information security. Now, what are the most common threats that are there around right now in information security? The biggest change in the industry that we are currently seeing is a transition from on-prem infrastructure to cloud-based infrastructure, and that brings in a lot of threats. There are a lot of new cloud apps coming up, which are still open to vulnerabilities. They are not 100% as safe as any other app on-prem would be, and many of them still are not fully mature enough. There could be incomplete or deletion and sometimes misconfiguration, and therefore the chances of a breach of personal information or leakage of personal information are very high. One challenge over there could be that you don't have full control over the third-party cloud infrastructure as much as you could have on your on-prem infrastructure. Next threat is the insider threat. It's a very common threat. It has been there forever since the time we had IT. The people within the system can be a threat to your information. But from the IT framework point of view, keep your operating systems and applications as updated as possible. Keep your antivirus, anti-malware tools as updated as possible to make sure that the virus and malware threats do not impact your systems. Remote worker, the new concept that has come in since COVID and is still very, very common. The VPNs should be very, very secure. They should not be allowed to log in from separate VPNs or improperly configured or not so secure VPNs, because then the threat to the information on their laptops is very high, and their computers should be patched regularly. IT has to devise mechanisms to ensure that the systems get patched automatically on a regular interval to keep their operating systems and applications safe. The threats also include the IoT devices, a lot of them coming up very, very regularly. that has made it very difficult to develop a common standard cybersecurity practice around IoT devices. So you have to be very careful while choosing the IoT device that you are using, so that you don't get into the problems with the information security. Phishing attacks through emails have been very common. The unfortunate thing is that the user sitting on the mailbox does not still realize that a wrong email could be a phishing attack and can have a very bad impact on the overall infrastructure. Users need to be very well educated when you are talking of phishing attacks and using desktop computers, even when it's a remote worker kind of a thing. There's a lot of malicious advertising. You see a banner and you click it and you end up going to a site which had no link with the advertisement that you saw on the banner, and it could be a malicious site, sending in wrong cookies or capturing your personal information through those cookies. Ransomware attacks is another big issue. So your applications and your servers, your infrastructure should have very robust anti-ransomware tools also. And another common thing that has come up is social media attacks. You get abbreviated URLs on social media. Even on your SMSs, you get an abbreviated URL to log on to a particular site for a particular purpose, but that URL takes you to not the right site, right? And you can get into problems both on your mobile phones as well as on your desktops and laptops. So information security has to make sure that the devices are so well protected that these malicious URLs as well as the malicious QR codes do not impact your system, or the impact is minimized. These are the key threats that I wanted to talk to you about, because all of them do somewhere or the other touch personal information and impact data privacy as well. In the next series of videos, we are going to talk about the various information security controls and measures that can be taken to avoid such attacks and keep your data intact, whether data the extremely personal or sensitive personal data or the general databases. So stay tuned with my channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, press the like and bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Share your feedback in the comments box. Thank you.